I've got 3 people on my tier list so far, and people are already rioting. I love this. Guys, we have something very special in plan for you guys. We are going to be joined by brandiganBTW, famous YouTuber with over 10,000 subscribers, makes a lot of awesome Stardew Valley content. Him and I are going to be hopping in a Discord call later tonight, and as the title of the stream suggests, we are going to be ranking the villagers of Stardew Valley. That is right, a good old-fashioned tier list, because you know, when the going gets tough, the Twitch streamers do what's easy, and what's easier than making a tier list, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I definitely told my chat that their good opinions will be recognized.
Oh, that's such a nice way to put it. Yeah, that goes for my chat too. I mean, like, if I agree with what you're saying, like, for sure.
Okay, let's kick it off with my girl Abigail.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, opening hot. Abigail is the only wife I've ever had on this game.
I also have only ever either married Abigail or was roommates with somebody else. Now, let's try and be objective here. The girl eats rocks, and we can't deny that.
She thinks they're delicious. Do we have evidence that she eats them? Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to fight for her, but that's preposterous. Yeah, she eats rocks.
In my head, I'm convinced she eats them.
I think I would put Abigail higher on my tier list than she would put me on hers, given I did divorce her on her birthday after sacrificing one of our kids together without her consent. So I don't know.
You're a monster.
Yeah. Dude, I'm tempted to put her right into the S tier. I don't know if that's opening too hot or not, but she's got such a special place in my heart.
You know, she is my favorite of the marriageable candidates. So unless my chat is gonna object strongly, I think I'm going with S tier.
Oh yeah, dude, opening with some agreeance. I like it. Oh man,
Alex is not very nice when you first meet him. I do like football. I have a bone to pick with you there because a little birdie told me you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Okay, well, I think it depends on what your definition of fan is, because some of my people in my chat wouldn't call me a fan. Out of all of the football teams, the Steelers are my favorite. I have watched about 3 games of football this season, and I think they were all exclusively the 4th quarter of those games. So I'm thinking like C for me, personally. You know, he's kind of on the meaner side, but he's also, you know, I don't really have any bones to pick with him. He's just kind of there. Does it feel weird to put some random NPC like this up in the A and S area? Because I'm tempted to do it. But he has said like nothing. Does he even say anything? I'm gonna try to look it up quick. The only thing that is even said about him is that shady looking guy in the back. I'm not supposed to talk about it, and that's from Sandy.
If this is true, this may change my opinion. Apparently Sandy doesn't like him.
I posted a poll on YouTube recently of who your favorite townspeople are, sort of. One person said they hate Sandy because she looks the other way for Keys Casino and he pays her rent. And she's just like willing to turn a blind eye to the crime.
You know, she was dealt a hard hand. She's stuck in a shop that nobody goes to. She's just trying to make the most of it.
I'm putting him A. Oh, B. I'll put him at B.
Caroline.
So I'm drawing a blank right now. She's Abigail's mom, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think the questioning comes from Abigail's mom, right?
Oh yeah.
It's the other one. It's the other. Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. So
gotcha.
I guess for the people that aren't aware, there's some dialogue with Caroline, who says that sometimes she would sneak off and take little secret walks to the wizard's tower. And the wizard has some dialogue that says, I'm convinced one of the people that lives in town is my actual daughter. And Abigail says, my hair is naturally purple. I don't even have to dye it. So, look, I don't wanna point any fingers.
I'm going through some of her loves, fish tacos. Who doesn't like a fish taco?
Oh, me, D
you
tier.
Don't like fish tacos?
Nah, dude, that just put her in D for me. That whole affair scandal, we won't call it an affair. What do we call it? That's like not mean.
She tripped.
Yeah. Okay, she tripped her way right down to D on my list.
Okay, I'm gonna have to agree or disagree with you. Right. I'm going C.
All right. Our first one we don't agree on. Are we still friends?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. Let's just get this out of the way real quick. I love like sushi. I love super spicy stuff. So the things that like make me cry into my food and just put me in the most pain, love it.
Oh yeah. Aren't we all just searching for that feeling? Demetrius. I am not unconvinced that Demetrius is a robot. Every time he speaks and I read his dialogue, I do it in the Demetrius voice. You know, he's just always saying stuff like, would you rather have the mushrooms or the fruit bats? I'd like to study my specimens. I don't know, man. He's... You know, I think I probably would have put him in like D or maybe even F. But then I started doing the Demetrius voice. And he's kind of grown on me since then. It's Demetrius the robot. I kind of like him.
This is a good point too. He does invite you to the Moonlight Jellies, and that's an awesome event.
Oh God. All right, A. I moved him up. The very first time I ever saw the dwarf, I was very excited.
And then you realized you couldn't understand him.
Right. Yeah, he does play a little hard to get. He is a little spicy in that way.
These dwarves, once you can understand their language, they sell you bombs, and they're cute. And he lives in the mines, which is also cute. I spend a lot of time in the mines. And look at the little hood and the little beady eyes.
I know. I'm willing to go high. My people are saying lower, dwarf average C, B, but I'm thinking like A, dude. I don't know.
Your chat is despicable.
I know.
The jury has decided. I have my second S tier character.
Oh my goodness. You might make some enemies over here in my chat because they're telling me not to put the dwarf that high. What do you think of Elliot here?
I did not like him. He comes off as pretentious. When I first saw his hair, it gave me like a Fabio vibe, and that always kind of weirded me out. But also I do like the, you know, living on a shack by the beach. That's very bohemian of him.
Mm-hmm. My favorite quote from him is when he comes out of, or when he's at the luau, you talk to him there. And he goes, I didn't even know this was going on. Honestly, I just stepped outside and found myself in the middle of all this hubbub. And I always kind of, liked him more after that. Oh man, you know, I think I was thinking he was like a C, but after the whole hubbub comment, I think I kind of like him in like the B range.
He has a lot of things I like about him. He has leather-bound books and his room smells of rich mahogany. One of my chatters is convinced that being bohemian is not a good thing. So see, it is.
We're going on to Emily. Emily was my first love. Now, I will admit, she was only my first love because, as I mentioned, my girlfriend's name is Emily and she told me to go for her. Have you ever seen her at Caroline's Jazzercise? Dude, she hit that thing. Every time she's dancing, swinging the hips back and forth. Oh my gosh, she's in a world of her own. You try to talk to her, I don't even think you can. It's like Emily's not listening. I don't think in my life I have ever danced so hard that if someone came up to me and tried talking to me, that I'd be like, I can't, stop, back away. I'm in the moment. I'm dancing right now.
This may increase your like for her. She hates fish tacos, maki rolls.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've had her like 4-heart event or whatever it is where she has you that like, she takes you on that weird dream. Yeah, dude, you like join her in her dream. I don't even remember what it is, but it is just weird and I love it. She's S tier for me, man. Next up is Evelyn. I think this will be a pretty easy one, relatively. I think we'll fall in around the same area.
Right. We both agree she is
I'm
F
muted
tier.
right now. He can't hear me. Okay, I was just gonna say I'm gonna put her in F tier. Dude, honestly, I hate Evelyn.
Wait, I was kidding.
I know, I was too. Don't worry. I muted myself. I was gonna say to my stream, hey, let's see if we can make Brandigan mad right now and put her down in like F or D. I do an evil playthrough. I think you might have watched me when I did this, but I took a slingshot to her at one point. I think my viewer count went down 10. I think she's like the most universally liked character on this game.
George. Yeah, he's so grumpy and she has to put up with his stuff all the time. And I just feel like she does a great job. Mm-hmm. And she sends you cookies, right?
She does. She's like the grandma cookies you don't have in this game. I'm putting her in S. She's a saint.
Ooh, George. Well, I'm hearing that they like George's sarcasm. I don't think he comes off as sarcastic. I think he comes off as cold and crotchety.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that fall in the middle here. I think it's going to be A's or F's. I got one person chanting for a G, which doesn't even exist. I used to hate him. I used to be like, you're grumpy and mean, and if there's ever, you know, a time where I can be mean to you, I'm going to take that opportunity. And then I got a special request on the board, and it was George asking for a hot pepper to rub on his knee, and it's that kind of freaky attitude that gets you right to the A tier in my book.
He is just a mean old man, I think. But he does have, a nice set of wheels.
This has been the most divisive one so far over here.
We're gonna put him in C.
I understand. I just like his spunk, but I can totally understand where you're coming from. The governor. So my last interaction with him, he ate some shorts. And the time before that, he passed out. And so him and I don't have the best relationship right now.
He does have a nice, Tom Selleck mustache. I appreciate a good mustache.
Something has never sat right with me with this guy. Like, he comes into our Pelican Town to do what? To lay judgment. We bust our butts 24/7, 365. He bothers to show up maybe once a year. He makes Lewis nervous. I'm tempted to go in the C range for him.
If he had something to bring to the table other than eating, from the luau and showing up at the movies, I could respect that. I think he is nothing but a farce. He's a public figure that has done nothing for Pelican Town, and he deserves to be F tier.
That is brutal, but I accept it. You know what? Pop off. Pop off, Brandon. All right, we got Grandpa, more specifically Grandpa's ghost. He's the one that gives you the farm. He's always there to encourage you from beyond the grave. But for some reason, I want to put him in F, dude. I don't know why. Every time, dude, I don't know why.
Are you memeing or are you trying to troll me?
No, I think I'm actually serious right now. People are saying very ultra easy S, dude. I'm thinking F, and I'm not even joking.
We wouldn't be in Stardew Valley without Gramps.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
King wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
Krobus wouldn't exist. None of these people. We wouldn't be ranking anybody.
Oh, that's so true. This is a weird question to phrase. How omnipotent do you think that Grandpa's ghost is? Because he's proven that, he can interact with the world beyond the grave, because he gives you the iridium, the statue of perfection. So he has some means of interacting with the real world. So why does it take 2 full years before Grandpa gives a little lending hand? By the time you've got everything figured out, then he's like, hey, here's some iridium. I don't know why Grandpa thinks he's helping us out so much here.
You're making a fair point.
What if you don't keep up the farm enough? He just doesn't give you anything? Oh, no candles for you, because you didn't pet your dog enough. No, Grandpa, I'm fired up right now. You're going in the D tier. I don't care if I would be in Pelican Town or not. He's the reason that I lost my job. Sure, it all worked out for me, but he made me give up a nice, steady source of income at the greatest corporation to ever exist, Joja Mart. Join us, Thrive. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And right now...
How dare you use the words of Ben Parker to refer to your acceptance of Joja Mart?
Look, I don't think that you're going to be happy when we get to Morris, is all I'm saying.
How dare you? He knew that we were going to either, take the farm to the next level or just destroy it in the process. I think I got to stick with S tier.
All right. That's our biggest difference so far. There's 3 tiers in between yours and mine.
You put him in D?
Oh yeah, he's in D.
Let's in the meantime, we have a lot to go through. Let's hit up Gunther.
Okay, I just lost 3 followers also. Gunther.
I think they may have joined me at my stream.
Oh, come on, Will. That's my girlfriend's brother, man. See, I never understood how collabs worked on Twitch, but this is what they mean when they say, you kind of start to share viewers. It's because you scare off your viewers and they go to the other channel and vice versa. I understand. It's not a mutually beneficial thing. It's more of a trade. If we were doing it based just on face, God, that's an S tier face.
This man also visits you with a pot of sauce and just pulls it out of his back pocket and stirs it. He's like, excuse me for a moment while I
what is up with
stir
that?
My sauce that I brought with me.
He's like, what is up with that, dude? That's so weird. If you guys don't know the cutscene he's talking about, literally he comes up to your door and he's talking to you and then goes, oh, wait, my sauce is gonna burn. And he turns, I think he faces away from you, doesn't he? Which is so weird that he would turn and face away from you and mixes his sauce up. And then he's like, sorry, that was gonna burn. Dude, who takes sauce on the road and cooks it, and how was he doing it, and where was he holding it? Dude, I think I might go D tier for that. That's I don't trust a guy like that.
Chef.
He's down in D for me because that very establishment that he houses is exactly where my girlfriend from real life fell in love with Shane. And You know, it's just unforgivable for me. I'm gonna have to keep him down.
Oh man, I think I need to negate your terrible decisions and bump him up to A.
So on average, he's a little bit better. Okay, the next one. Get ready to welcome a lot of my viewers into the chat.
Okay, so I think I need to do a little convincing on my chat because they're throwing out the Haley is shallow, and initially she is, right?
I don't want to hear this. I gotta mute you, dude. I've heard the same spiel a million times.
Hold on. Okay, well, okay. We can even skip past all of that, right? If she was truly shallow, why doesn't she's the only one that doesn't universally love prismatic shards.
Sketchy.
Arguably the most lucrative gem or item in the game, right? So if you were shallow, somebody that was shallow would like prismatic shards, and she hates them.
I don't trust like that. Look, man, the first time I talked to her, she said, "Ew, there's dirt on your shoes," and after that, I lost all respect.
She says that she's glad the town is small because if it was any bigger, it wouldn't be a community. Aw.
Yep. Well, until I hear those words come out of her mouth personally, she's staying in the F tier. Hey, we got Harvey now. I used to hear he was a really good husband. I also heard there's a scene where he rubs lotion on you or sunscreen or something. Oh, this is where it comes from. Okay, so at the luau, he says, if you talk to him, he says, "Good thing I came with sunscreen. I wonder if Maru could use some sunscreen on her shoulders." Dude, don't externalize that. You creep. That's so weird. I'm putting him in C. I think he's a really good husband, but that one line just reminds you that deep down he's got some creep in him. Next we got Jazz.
Yeah, let's go with your opinions on Jazz first.
Okay. So you know how I said I don't really have anyone in the F tier? Boop. Dude, I kinda hate Jazz. I think Jazz is too young to have really done anything, to contribute to anything. She just runs around, jumps with her rope. Honestly, I have someone else on this list that I like even less, and Jazz associates herself with this person. And as a result, you know, that drags her down a little bit.
Apparently, Jazz hates clay, but she may gift it to you at the Feast of the Winter Star.
You know, it's probably when other people give her clay, it's probably a regift.
She's a regifter?
Probably. God, dude, I hate Jazz.
You gotta knock her down a tier for that.
She's in F. She's already in F. What am I to do?
I didn't know you already put her in F.
I already put her in F, dude. Should I knock her down another tier? She was in F before I learned this about her.
Her own tier.
They won a G tier. The first time I ever saw Jody, I thought she was weeping because she was washing the dishes, and I thought she was just hardcore crying in the kitchen. Lola says Jody S tier? Are you insane? I just didn't think she was anything super special. I'm going B. All right, we got the Krobmeister, which I have never called him that before. I like what Krobus, I'm picking up what Krobus is putting down. I think I like his sewer-dwelling lifestyle. I like that he's just kind of trying to figure out how humans do. So far, I'm putting him in A. That's right, I like him. You know, I've not roomed with him yet, but I could definitely see it. Definitely see myself doing that.
Wait, they think he's a thief?
Yeah, Bigfoot from your chat says he's a bit of a thief.
I don't know. But, so here's what I'm thinking. I love Krobus, but I don't appreciate that he outshines the dwarf. With that said, I don't think just because the dwarf doesn't get love, you know, I can't knock Krobus for that. That's not his fault. So he's mentioning the magnifying glass, but and you know, the shadow person jumps into the bushes, but we don't know that that's Krobus for sure. And that scene can be triggered after you've already met Krobus. So, you know, wouldn't you have been like, "Hey, Krobus"?
Yeah, that's a good point. Interesting.
So I don't think that shadow person is Krobus. I have a new tier above S.
Okay.
It is called the bro tier. So the dwarf will now be moved
from
S to bro, and him and Krobus will reside there.
So at least up until this point, out of all of the people in Stardew Valley, you've got Krobus and the dwarf above all.
Well, you know, as minorities of Stardew Valley, I think it's important that they have representation, and they've been oppressed by the villagers for years. I mean, Krobus is forced to live in the sewers. Meanwhile, nobody can communicate with the dwarf because the dwarf scrolls are lost. I'm just trying to even the playing field here.
Is Krobus forced to live in the sewers, or is he just getting a little nasty? I knocked my camera over when I said that. Yeah, you know what? The bro tier. I'm getting on board with it. I know some people from my chat love Leah. Like, that's number 1 choice. I've never been that impressed. I don't dislike her, but I've never been that impressed. I've seen some of her sculptures. Is the art really gonna work out?
You just don't understand art.
But that's just one more person who's not putting money in Leah's pocket.
I think she has a complicated history, right? There's an ex-boyfriend involved. She used to live in Zuzu City, but there's a lot of parallels between, us, the farmer, and her. We kind of move away from the 9-to-5 grind to, come out to the farm life. And I see a little bit of that in her.
I respect that. I was bouncing between B and C, but you've convinced me B.
You want to kick this one off?
Yeah, dude. Some people, so like I said, I just posted one of those polls on YouTube recently, like in the community tab. I have always liked Lewis. I've always thought he was great. Dude, people on YouTube did not like Lewis. I didn't even ask people what their least favorite character was, and people just went after him.
I kind of dislike this man.
I didn't, but now I do. A little bit more. After reading through some YouTube comments and thinking about it a little bit, like he's a politician. He feels a little dirty. When you talk to him, you realize he cares way more about, like, his position. He just wants to impress the mayor. I'm thinking C tier. I don't dislike him necessarily, but yeah. Dude, some people hate Linus too. All right, same deal where I polled my YouTube people. They hate Linus. I always thought that my mans was just trying to like eat some berries and have a good time. The first time he talks to Linus, or one of the first times, he says, "Have you come to ridicule me?" That's so sad.
Wow, I was really thinking that everybody was going to be so pro Linus, and now I see a Linus F all the way.
That's what other people are saying too.
I got to decide whether he's going bro or not.
Explain to me exactly how the bro tier works again. I want to recognize, is that like, wow, like that's just like a different category, or is that like 1 tier above S? Or is that just for like the bros? We got people chanting S.
I just don't know what the tier means.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Somebody brings up a good point that really, really irks me. They said, first time I died in the dungeon, Linus stole all my gold. And dude, as somebody who always passes out at 2 a.m. in the Skull Cavern, right? You always get that mail that's like, from Linus, and he's like, "Hey man, I found you passed out. I saw somebody digging through your pockets. I don't know what they took, but I shooed them away." Nah, bro, you're going through my pockets. No. And you just own up to that.
No, I will not stand for this Linus slander. All right?
What? Is it true?
You have no evidence.
How many times does it have to happen?
How dare you pass judgment?
Wow.
Maybe it's filthy Marlin doing his sweeps of the mines at 3 a.m. Maybe it's the other shadow people. Yeah, that's right. I'm going for the entirety of the shadow people.
Do not attack the shadow people.
If you're trying to tell me that there's more than just Krobus hanging around, they thrive in the dark. It's a small town, man. Linus knows everyone. He knows them because he bullies all of them. No, Linus knows everyone in Stardew Valley. Who would he not know? The shadow people. He'd be like, I couldn't quite make out who it was because he assumes it's a person, but it's a shadow person. This is the conspiracy. I think that Krobus's brethren have been stealing from the pockets. I have no evidence, so I won't hold that against Krobus. But I also have no evidence that Linus is a thief.
You know what? I think we can find some common ground. I do not think the shadow people are stealing the money.
Okay.
I'm willing to accept that even if Linus is doing it, in my playthroughs, I make a couple 2,000-3,000 gold, I don't want to brag or anything. I think he needs it more than me, and you know what? I'm not going to hold it against him. So I think he's going to be in the bro tier for me.
I'd like to apologize. I got heated. Linus holds a special place in my heart. I didn't mean to come for Krobus.
It's fine, man. You just started to
shadow people. I know. I'm sorry. That might get me canceled. I am very sorry for that. I might be posting a public apology video for that one. Our main farm, we've made 11 million over 5 years. What are you to do with that? We've got obelisks, return scepters. We are the upper class of Pelican Town, and it's not even close. We are like Jeff Bezos. All right? What does Linus have? Salmonberry season? He needs the money. And, if he wants to reach into those pockets, say I wasn't fully passed out, and I feel him reaching around in the pockets, taking just a little bit, he could have taken millions. He never takes that much. He needs it more than us. Linus goes into the S tier for sympathy for me now. I've moved him from A to
How is
S.
your chat responding to that?
For some reason, they're talking about Gus.
Justice for Gus.
Gustus. You guys are saying justice for Gus. Where did I end up putting him? Or is he in the T tier? Oh my god, that was cutthroat. Why did I put him that low? Oh, he's staying there, but why did I put him that low? Gustus. I have never been disappointed by someone more in this game than by Marnie. It's like, why even have store hours? Terrible hours that she's not even there for, I swear 50% of the time. I think she's not there more often than she's there. She's F for me, man. I've never disliked someone more right off the rip. And to make it all worse, you have to get the 2 hearts with her for the pants thing. But, you know, at the same time, she's raising Jazz. I got Jazz in the F tier. She's raising Shane. I don't like Shane. Like, she's and a scandal. Dude, this is the easiest F I've ever put someone in. You can feel free to go differently. This is an easy F for me. Morris. My man. He's kind of slimy.
I would really like for you to give your opinion on Morris first.
So, dude, that temptation of selling out and returning to your old life has just always been so funny to me. And we just started recently doing that evil playthrough, and Morris is just, oh man, dude, he's just the embodiment of an evil big bad corporation. And I have so much fun playing this game evilly. Dude, Morris is a slimy guy, but he's good at being that kind of person. And look at that bow tie. I think he's going up in like my A region. I really like Morris, and I don't think anyone else does.
Wait, what did you put him in?
That man is A for all together now. Joja.
He is the definition of corporate greed, and he is going in the F tier.
He's an A for me, and I'll keep it short. I'll keep it simple. I've got 3 words. Join us, thrive.
Chat.
As someone with
you don't need to hear
great loyalty
propaganda
to Joja Mart, he does what's best for the company. He personally delivers you a Joja vending machine upon completion of the Joja warehouse. And it is my honor. It is my honor and privilege to serve under such a wise mentor.
Z, this may be the last stream we ever do together.
I warned you, man. I warned you when we got to Morris. It was going to get rough.
All right, let's move on. What are you thinking about?
God, I just love Joja. All right, Mr. As we've discussed, Mr. Quee is how you say this guy's name. I refuse to call him that.
Say it as Quee too. I think Concerned Ape was trolling us. I'm going to say Key.
Can we just agree that Concerned Ape is either trolling us or he's just wrong and it's Key?
Yeah, I'm going with Key. I just can't get over Quee.
Right. Some people really, like, I always kind of liked him. Some people really don't because they don't like his implied omnipotence. He plays kind of hard to get to. You know, like, those challenges aren't easy.
I also like to be adventurous, and, you know, he does force you to drink iridium snake milk.
Yeah, right? When would you ever do that otherwise? I used to think A. I think I might put him in B now, though. You know, now that I'm a big boy and I'm doing, like, you know, no food Skull Cavern runs, floor 100, I'm a big boy now. I think B. I like him more than I dislike him. We got Pam.
Oh, my dear Pam. The saloon would be closed if it weren't for you.
Pam is the only person that I have 10 hearts with on any farm. I got to 14 with Abigail, but that was mostly just so that I could divorce her. Like, that was my main reason for getting a marriage kid at all, was just so I could have kids and then turn them into doves. I like Pam, and I'm proud. And for that reason, I'm putting her in A.
Wait, you're trolling with me, right? You're putting her in A?
Dude, I know a lot of people don't like Pam. She's like a lot of people's least favorite. Pam is like I said, she's the only person I have 10 hearts with. I bought her a house. I think she's fun. She's got a little bit of an alcohol issue, I will say that, but she's working on it. You know,
a little bit.
A little bit.
She is systematically destroying her relationship with her daughter because of the bottle.
Yeah.
She drives a bus when she's lit. You can give her a beer and she'll drive you to the desert.
I often do. How do you think I got 10 hearts with her? Yeah, well, that was like when I first found out that this is like when I found out that loved gifts were even a thing. I was talking to my friend named Josh from real life, and he was telling me he goes, I always give Pam a pale ale right before getting on the bus to the desert to warm her up.
Wow.
And after that, I just loved that. I thought that was so funny. I just had to keep going with it.
For the reasons of being a terrible mother, I think she needs to work on herself. And I think the only way to do that is tough love. If you show her appreciation on this tier list, you're not doing her any favors. She's going F for me.
I am all about enabling Pam. That's kind of like part of my brand. So I'm perfectly fine living with that.
All right. That's fair.
All right. We got Pierre next. Pierre, I can say after my poll of the people, is the most hated person in Stardew Valley. People say that he's Morris, but he works for himself. They say that he's a terrible husband. He's never around. He's always working. There's rumors that Abigail isn't even his biological daughter. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt to Pierre's name. People are not a fan.
I also think he's worse than Morris. The only reason why I think they're close is because Pierre does throw a good punch if you've ever completed the community center. But right now I have a double F tier and he is the sole occupant.
Wow. All right. I'll drop him to C. I recognize you guys are right here. Robin, out of all of the people that you can't marry, she was the one that I was most disappointed to see. I really liked Robin.
I have a little more flexibility than you with my extended tiers.
Yeah, flexibility.
I have the bro tier, and I think she is she just defines that tier. I mean, she helps around, right? She's building us stuff.
I thought I understood the criteria of your bro tier. I realize I do not. I think I'm going A. I like Robin. I don't think she's all the way up there for me yet, but I like her. Look, I hate this guy with a passion, all right? Honestly, and he puts up a JoJo wallpaper without your consent, sometimes in the children's room.
That's unacceptable.
Which honestly, I do love that. But without someone's consent, I mean, come on. Look, I understand. I love JoJo, but I understand that you can't just do that, man. Okay,
probably a low C.
I'm going to be adding a new row. I hate Shane so much that I'm adding a new stinky tier. I'm calling him Stinky.
Do you think Shane is important enough to get his own tiers? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's how much I hate him, dude. I see what you're trying to do there. I hate him that much. I changed it to just the stink tier. I thought I just didn't like him a little bit because I talked to him in the saloon and he's just like, I don't know you, why are you talking to me? Which, who does that, man? What decent human opens with, I don't know you, stop talking to me. He's the worst. Lolo in my chat says Shane did nothing. Untrue. Now, that's a stink tier for me.
Hey, I feel you.
The problem is, I don't know if anyone can truly feel me 100%.
Rasmodius?
Rasmodius.
AKA the wizard?
I have always liked his energy. You know, I think I'm gonna do an A because I am convinced by the theory that he is Abigail's real father, and since Abigail is the best person in Stardew Valley, that's where I'm putting him. Bigfoot says he does make you drink a drugged drink at one point, which I think, if we're being totally honest here, dude, I loved that cutscene. There were like trees floating around and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Is there any reason why we've saved this little kid for last?
Yeah, so I think out of all of the opinions of the townspeople in this game, Vincent, particularly a couple of people, are so strongly love him. When I heard, it's Will PK who bounced over in your chat for a little bit in particular. You know, the very first time he ever said that he likes Vincent, to me that was so shocking. I was like, have you ever, I've never even like interacted with that kid. He's not even on my radar in the slightest. I don't even have an opinion of him. Excuse me here while I make another tier. I started thinking more and I was like, you know, maybe I don't like Vincent. Maybe it's just kind of fun to bully him. You know, he's so joyous all the time. Then I shot him with a slingshot and he cried. Oh my gosh, that elicited the strongest response I've ever gotten from Will. He hated it so much, but at the end of the day, you know, Vincent's a good kid. I give him a lot of crap. And although I do genuinely hate Shane, and that's why I've created a new tier for Shane, he's moving from the stink tier to the mega bad tier. Vincent, I only pretend to hate to get at Will. There's the truth. So now there's my F tier, and then below that is stink that has no one, and then there's Shane at the bottom because I dislike Shane that much. I'll actually switch. I'll call this one mega bad, and I'll call this one stink. Even if you have to restart the day, you gotta shoot that kid with a slingshot. You shoot him, and his eyes well up with tears, and he goes, why would you shoot me? And you feel such a pang of guilt over these pixels on your screen that I never feel in video games like that. Dude, you feel so bad, but then you realize you're streaming and you've put on this persona of hating Vincent and you've gotta fake it and you gotta laugh, but inside you're crying. Oh, you gotta do it. It's a rush.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm for shooting villagers with the slingshot.
Of course. That's the end of our tier list, yeah? Yeah, thank you so much, man, for hanging out. Guys, Brandigan is new to streaming, or newer to streaming. He's been going for how long now, Brandon?
This is my third stream.
Third stream, and he's already killing it. If you guys don't follow or don't subscribe to him on YouTube, what are you doing? Honestly, he posts some great videos. Very similar content to mine, so if you like me, check him out for sure. Here's our final tier list. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it turned out pretty good.